Hello everyone, this is Brett, and thank you for tuning in. Today's video are going to be 10 recent vinyl finds. Let's kick things off with David Bowie, Live Santa Monica, 1972. This was originally a radio broadcast recorded on October 20th, 1972, when Bowie played on the Ziggy Stardust tour at Santa Monica Civic Auditorium. Check out that ticket stub, $5.50. I originally had this on CD back in the early 90s, and it had like a purple cover, and it had a physical replica of that ticket stub. Really interesting recording. To me, the real star of this is Trevor Bolder on bass. The bass in this mix is really up front, and Trevor was a really busy player, but it's great to hear his bass lines so up front, and they really sing. They're super tasteful. Mike Garson on piano, who started playing with Bowie on the Ziggy Stardust tour and was with him for pretty much the rest of his career. Has some great deep cuts on here, live versions of the Superman from Man Who Sold the World, Andy Warhol from Hunky Dory, great version of the sprawling Width of a Circle from Man Who Sold the World. So 2 record set, found this in the used bins for only 20 bucks. Very happy to add that to the Bowie collection. Next up, the newest album from John Carpenter, his son Cody, and his godson Daniel Davies. This is the 4th in the Lost theme series called Noir. If you're a fan of John Carpenter's work, this is just, ominous, cinematic soundtrack work for movies that don't exist. Dark synths, heavy guitars, really good stuff. It comes with a bonus 7-inch, which I've never seen anything like this before. It's called Black Cathedral. One side is playable, and the second side, it's not a picture disc, it's actually screen printed. You can kind of see right there. So very cool. Released on the Sacred Bones label. So if you're a fan of John Carpenter, definitely grab Part 4 Noir. And it's on this interesting tan and black smoke thing. Next up is the 5th album, the latest one from Kacey Musgraves. This is Deeper Well. Her last album, Star Crust, maybe a slight kind of dip in the quality of her catalog. The first 3 albums were outstanding, especially the 3rd one. And Deeper Well, to me, is kind of a return to form. The track Deeper Well is outstanding, Too Good to Be True. It has, Kacey has a line of like scented candles, and the inner sleeve smells like pepper and patchouli. It's really actually a pretty pleasant smell on this clear and white splatter. So, yep, it's great to have another album from Kacey Musgraves. Next up, another one from the used bins. This is Waylon Jennings' Greatest Hits. It's a cool textured sleeve with some gold print. My brother had the 45 for the Dukes of Hazzard theme, and I remember it had that Telecaster on the cover. It has tracks, Amanda, Lukenbach, Texas with Willie Nelson, Mamas Don't Let Your Babies Grow Up to Be Cowboys, Good Hearted Woman, I'm a Rambling Man, Honky Tonk Heroes. Waylon Jennings' Greatest Hits. Next up, the latest, the 3rd album from Dua Lipa. This is Radical Optimism. Her 2nd album, to me, was one of the best pop albums for many, many years. So how do you follow that up? Something that's just so good. And I was skeptical of this one when I heard the first single, but I've listened to this many times now. It's really grown on me. The clear standout, interesting, is the very final song, Happy For You. She played that on Saturday Night Live recently. It was a really emotional, intense version. Another track that's a standout also is These Walls. So Dua Lipa, if you're unfamiliar, she's hugely popular. I would call it modern electronic pop disco. Dua Lipa. Next up, if you missed my Record Store Day 2024 haul video, I will post a link for that. There were some things that we couldn't get locally, so my wife Sarah ended up finding them from other stores around the country. This is one that I completely missed on the list, and that is Spoon Fed Hybrid. This came out originally 1993, pretty obscure album on the 4AD label. Side project, one-off album from Ian Masters from Pale Saints, along with Chris Trout from AC Temple. Kind of a pricey version, 2-record set. The second disc has demos and outtakes. Standout tracks on this one, the opening song, Heaven's Not, Boys in Zinc is a great one. and it actually has an instrumental demo version of Boys in Zinc that has marimba in it, and it reminds me of those Rockabye Baby lullabies. So Spoon-Fed Hybrid. This only released 250 copies in the US. So if you're a fan of Pale Saints or 4AD label in general, this is a really interesting one. So Spoon-Fed Hybrid. Next up, another Record Store Day release. Really glad we were able to get this one because it's total top tier Record Store Day 2024 for me. This is the band Scenic. Independent Project Records released this, featuring members of Savage Republic, Shiva Burlesque, 17 Pygmies. Has a guest appearance from the late Harold Budd. Title, Acid Gospel Experience. It is instrumental, ambient, space rock. Put it on. It's a fascinating listen if you're fans of like Pink Floyd. I think you'd really dig this, or any of the aforementioned bands. 2 record set. This originally came out back in 2002. It's on this like light greenish. Great packaging, great release, sounds excellent. Scenic. Next up, so great to walk into a record store and you can buy new copies of The Cure Paris. So back in 1993, The Cure released 2 live albums, Show, which you can see back there, and Paris, recorded on the Wish tour. Show was a bit more kind of greatest hits set list, recorded in Michigan, and then the Paris album, recorded in France, was a bit more on the deep cut side. 2 record set, both of them sound fantastic. Great artwork. Paris includes 2 songs that were not on the original release, so instead of it opening with the figurehead, it now opens with Shake Dog Shake, and it closes out with Hot Hot Hot. Neither were on the original release, so it's weird to hear it without opening with the figurehead, but still really cool to have Shake Dog Shake. Standouts for me on this one, the figurehead, it's just a great version of that track from the Pornography album. Apart, one of my favorite songs from the Wish album, Letter to Elise, Catch from Kiss Me, Kiss Me, Kiss Me. So if you haven't picked up Paris or Show, definitely add those. Essential for any Cure collection. Next up, the latest album from one of my favorite bands of all time. This is James with their album Yummy, a word that I have difficult time saying. So great to have new music from this band. Favorite standout track, Way Over Your Head. There's also Mobile God is great. Is This Love? My least favorite on this one right now is Shadow of a Giant. I don't know, something about that song is just not vibing with me. I'm hoping to do an upcoming James re-ranking video. For those of you who've been watching for a long time, you may remember the video I did at least 10 years ago, and there's been several albums that have released since then, including Yummy, so I'm hoping to do an updated version of that. And lastly, this one just came out this past Friday. This is Paradise Now from Death Cult. This is a reimagined version of the compilation Ghost Dance, which was released decades ago. 8-song compilation. Death Cult, it's just the cult before they just dropped the word death from their name. So Billy Duffy, Ian Asbury, prior to the release of their first album, Dreamtime. It opens with Horse Nation. This is a pretty, the artwork on it is just absolutely beautiful. Unfortunately, they just kept the inside bare minimum. Black paper sleeve, which not polyline, but let's take a look at this beautiful clear with black and white splatter. So if you're a fan of the Cult, this is really, really early stuff. And yeah, happy to see that this is out and available for people to experience the early music of the Cult. So anyways, guys, thanks for watching. Curious to see what you picked up, so leave some comments and let me know if you picked up any of these. And I will talk to you soon. Bye.